Today's First Alert afternoon weather update is brought to you by Lockhart Roofing.
Happy Thursday afternoon, everyone. Meteorologist Stone Schaefer here live for our First Alert Weather live stream. We do every day at 2 p.m. I want to thank everyone for joining me here today. As always, if you have any questions, make sure you head over to our Facebook pages at WNEM TV5 News. There I try to answer any of the questions that you might have about the weather going on across mid-Michigan. For today's stream, we're going to be looking at the sunshine that we have for today, tomorrow, and then possibly into your weekend, but also a rain chance as we have a rain chance that we have going into Saturday and possibly Sunday. We'll also be looking at some warmer temperatures, the drought monitor, and another chance of the northern lights. We'll have an update on that just to see if you have another chance tonight as we get through our Thursday into our Friday. So we start off today's stream. We're going to be looking out at downtown Flint, where you see pretty clear skies there off in the distance. Hard to tell, but there are clear skies there in downtown Flint. We'll continue to see that here over the next couple of hours, and then into tonight there might be some cloud cover, but for the most part should be a nice sunny day in Flint. We'll look out to the west. This is going to be Mount Pleasant overlooking Central Michigan University, also showing those sunny skies, maybe a few small clouds off in the distance, but even that very light high atmosphere clouds here on this Thursday afternoon. We'll continue to see that sunshine there in Mount Pleasant. Then we move back to downtown Saginaw, another area that is having some sunshine, just a few small clouds there off in the distance for our Thursday. And when we look at Sky Tracker, we try to look at Sky Tracker here. Let's see if it wants to load for me. There it goes. When we look at Sky Tracker right now, it's showing much of mid-Michigan, if not all of mid-Michigan, is having relatively clear skies. There is some light cloud cover towards eastern Huron and northern Sanilac counties. That has continued to develop off of the bay / the lake, and will continue to be something we can see on and off for the next few hours. But I think for the most part, you are going to see sunshine if you live in mid-Michigan. With this sun, temperatures have gotten back up into the mid to lower 50s. Our warmest temperatures are areas like Standish at 51, Gladwin, Clare, Mount Pleasant, all at 51. We see Owasso also at 51. Saginaw at 50, Lapeer also at 50, Flint at 49. But I think I mentioned this yesterday. That sunshine, it's helping us stay a little bit warmer through this afternoon than the previous few days. And we also have some warmer air starting to move into the region. So that's what's giving us temperatures back into the 50s. We'll continue to see that trend here through Friday and Saturday before another system. It will bring in some colder air, ruining the fall-like days that we've had here to end our week. In terms of our wind, sustained wind is out of the west at, we'll say, 5 to 15 miles per hour. Don't expect much stronger than this throughout the day. Really a weaker day for winds. It will pick up a little bit tomorrow. It's going to be Saturday that we see our wind gust return across much, if not all, of mid-Michigan. Looks to be a pretty windy weekend. So if you're someone that has any of those Halloween decorations still out, most of them are put away, but Thanksgiving or Christmas decorations or any of holiday decorations here, make sure they are in place as we get through some windy days here. And we've had windy days over at least the last week or so. In terms of wind gusts, it's up to 25 miles per hour. Flint at 24, Wasso at 18, Mount Pleasant 16, Holton Lake 22. So definitely breezy out there. I don't think you're not going to notice it as you're getting out and about, but it is calmer than what we had yesterday and maybe even the day before, and it's calmer than what we're going to have as we head into the weekend. Again, Saturday and Sunday, looking to have stronger wind gusts play out across the region, and I'll have more on that here in just a little bit. But right now, up to 25 miles per hour. And when we look at the next 12 hours, it does show winds trying to calm down through the night into tomorrow morning. Again, it does look like Friday should be a calmer day in terms of wind across the state. Now, as we get through tonight, lows with our clear skies and just that colder air that we have for this time of year are looking to stay mid to upper 20s, mid to lower 30s, most locations below freezing. So you're definitely going to feel it if you're going to be outdoors tonight or even tomorrow morning as we're heading off to work, school, or whatever your Friday routine is. You definitely have a colder morning, pretty similar though to what we've been seeing here over the last couple of days and even the last week or so as we got through the weekend and that cold air did move itself in to the region. And then highs for Friday are right back into the mid to lower 50s, more widespread 50s for tomorrow. So anyone that's been looking for a few more fall-like days as we start to transition into the winter season, well, you're going to get that tomorrow and you're going to get it Friday or Saturday as well. Because when we look at our 3-day forecast for Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, what we hold on to is 50s for Saturday, maybe mid to upper 50s in some locations. The timing of rain may determine how warm we get on Saturday. Right now it looks to be middays when that rain starts. So once that rain does start to fall, most areas are going to start to cool down. You get more cloud cover. It sort of just resets the system, as I'd say, over mid-Michigan. And then it also starts to pull in some colder air. So that's why Sunday we see a drop back into the 40s and our lows back into the 20s. So again, if you're looking for fall-like days, I'd say enjoy today, enjoy tomorrow, and even enjoy Saturday before that rain chance does roll itself in. And again, we'll have some more details on that here in just a second, but does hold that rain chance for the afternoon Saturday, and then a little bit drier for Sunday, and then into next week, also looking to be a little bit drier. So I am going to take a break real quick. Once I come back from that break, we're going to be looking at another chance of the northern lights. We're going to be looking at the drought monitor that updated this morning. We'll be looking at Friday night lights and Saturday playoff games because we do start to split here as we get to the final rounds of high school football. We'll look at wind, we'll look at that rain chance, and much more. So make sure you stay right here. Well, welcome back, everyone. Meteorologist Stone Schaefer here, live for the second half of our Thursday, 2 p.m. First Alert Weather live stream. And we're going to be starting off looking at our Aurora tracker, those northern lights for tonight. And I hate to sort of burst everyone's bubble, but it does look like that energy that we had over the previous few days, obviously maxing out Tuesday night and even into last night, it doesn't look to be as high. I'm not going to count out some very faint northern lights. If some more energy can be detected, that line could move a little bit farther south. But for now, if you're looking for a third night to go hunt for the northern lights, you may have to travel a little bit farther north than what we've been seeing here over the last couple of days. And again, this could change. I do want to quickly mention that northern lights can be very hard to track. Sometimes you don't know the energy is here until it's on the sensors here on the planet. So, there was a joke yesterday I saw on social media. It's like you can forecast normal weather almost 2 days out and have a good idea. For the northern lights, it's about 10 to 15 minutes sometimes. So last night wasn't looking good. Then by about 10 p.m., the energy started to show up, and that's why we had pretty good views across mid-Michigan for the northern lights. But again, I don't know if we'll have that chance today. It's going to be close. That line could, again, continue to shift south. If we have another sort of surprise amount of energy that like we did last night at times, you're definitely going to have that chance. And we look to have clear skies. This is our cloud cover tracker. And what we have is past sunset through 8 p.m., most of mid-Michigan, you're looking to see clear skies. It's going to be just past 11 p.m. I think we do see some cloud cover roll itself in from the west, and really gives us maybe overcast skies through the night into tomorrow morning. But it isn't long term. I think by the time many of us are waking up Friday morning, we'll see the sunshine again. It's going to be areas similar to what we had last night, to the north and to the east, that have that cloud cover as you're waking up for your Friday morning. I want to start our transition here. We're now going to look at our drought monitor. This obviously updates every Thursday morning. We've had some snow, so the question was, is this going to make any difference for this week? And there really hasn't been much change. I will say areas north of the bay have lost some of that moderate drought just a little bit. It's not a big change, but it was a little bit. That's always a good sign to see some kind of change in our drought monitor. But some of those major areas like western Huron County, there just west of Bad Axe, that severe drought hasn't changed. And then really Isabella County, south of Clare, north of Alma, and then all the way out west to Lake Michigan, that area also didn't change. I will say though, snow will help. Usually they get the final sort of readings for the drought monitor on Tuesday. So melting snow, that really happened on Tuesday. So anything that melted from Sunday and Monday, most of that melted Tuesday into Wednesday. So I think next week's drought monitor could be some big changes, especially out towards Huron, Sanilac, Tuscola counties, where you had up to 6 inches of snow from that lake effect. That could end up giving us a good update for next week. And I think obviously areas like Bay City, Saginaw, towards Midland and Freeland, where you also got some snow that melted Monday, Tuesday, even into Wednesday, that will be an area that I think has some updates next week as well. Obviously, we'll just keep an eye on it, see how they want to change this drought monitor, but that gets updated on Thursday. I think next week definitely could have some changes because of that snow melt that we did have from the weekend and on Monday in our eastern counties. So let's now head over to our Friday Night Lights forecast. Now, this is for Friday night, so there are sort of 2 days of games for all the teams left here in mid-Michigan. So Friday night, the games include Frankenmuth at Pontiac Notre Dame Prep, East Grand Rapids traveling to Mount Pleasant. You have Ithaca versus Pewamo, Westphalia. Orchard Lake St. Mary's playing at Midland Dow. You have Goodrich at Williamston, and then Fitton at DeWitt. So very good games across the board. Obviously, Goodrich and Williamston a little close to me as I graduated from Williamston. I know my family's probably going to be at that game. 2 teams 11-0, very good. Lots of good games. We're in that round of the playoffs, round number 3, where you're starting to get really the best teams in the state playing it out to get to the Ford Field here in a couple of weeks. Those games kick off at 7 p.m. Kickoff pretty nice. I'd say mostly clear skies, temperatures mid to upper 40s, dropping to the lower 40s through the game. You'll have an east wind at 5 to 10 miles per hour. And I do want to also highlight wind chills could become a factor by the end of the game. And by a factor, I mean dropping into the 30s. But with calmer winds, I think that may be even a little bit too low right now. Hopefully those winds can stay calm so wind chills won't be a factor, but looks to be a pretty nice night for Friday Night Lights for round 3 of the Michigan high school football playoffs, because obviously we're at that time of year where you get some really bad weather with snow and cold temperatures. So I think most fans are going to take those 40s. Then we move to our Saturday game. So this is going to include Ogama Heights at Swan Valley, Montrose at Kent City, Clinton at Millington, and Beale City at Harbor Beach. All kickoffs at 1 p.m. Not so nice. This is going to be the worst of the 2 days because you do have some rain chances. It may not be a whole day, a whole game rain, but definitely enough. I'd bring the umbrella if you can, bring the poncho, bring your sort of wet weather gear if you're going to be sitting out there. It's also going to be windy. Again, winds pick up onto Saturday by midday. It's mostly a west wind at 10 to 20, gust up to 25. So if you're going to be out any of those Saturday games, again, kickoff at 1 p.m., just be prepared. Not as nice weather as those Friday night games that we have ahead. But again, all good games all across the board. Obviously, Ogama Heights, Swan Valley, it's a big one. Again, like I said earlier, all these games sort of getting to that time where it's the top teams in the state trying to get to the Ford Field here in about 2 to 3 weeks, sort of getting to their goals for the season. And we're going to talk about wind because it's probably the biggest highlight, I think, of the next couple of days outside of that rain chance on Saturday. It calms down tonight by midnight. 5 to 15 miles per hour is going to be calm for your Friday morning. This is 7 a.m. winds from the south at 5 to 15 miles per hour, staying calm through a majority of Friday afternoon. And then once we get to Saturday, we do have that low pressure system, just that system that's going to bring us that rain chance starting to move itself a little bit closer. And that's what's going to increase our winds as we get through Saturday morning. This at 10 a.m. wind gust up to 15 to, we'll say 25 miles per hour, maybe up to 30 in a few locations, especially out towards 127, and then continuing to stay strong as we get through much of Saturday afternoon and evening. This is 8 p.m. seeing wind gust up to 30 to 35 miles per hour from the northwest. So you're just going to have that windy day on Saturday, and it looks to continue into Sunday, wind gust up to 25 to 30 for Sunday. So again, definitely noticeable as we head through your weekend, and maybe even longer than that. We'll see how winds play out for Monday. I do think they should calm down by Monday, but may catch a few areas lingering a little bit longer with those stronger winds. And hour by hour is not much to show us. Again, some cloud cover late tonight. This is right around midnight into about 5 to 6 a.m. By the time we're waking up, we're heading off to school, work, you do see some more sunshine. That will be something that fills the sky for most. Like we mentioned earlier in the stream, it's going to be areas to the east, I think, have a little bit more cloud cover as we get into the day. But by 6 to 7 p.m., right past sunset, most areas should be clear again. It's just going to be light cloud cover in and out for Friday night into Saturday morning. And then by Saturday, again, we have that system that wants to bring us the rain chance, and it's going to develop cloud cover ahead of that system. So you're waking up Saturday morning, you're going to see some cloud cover, and then by about 10 to 11 a.m. it does look like most forecasting models are starting to show that we do start to see that rain chance. I don't think it's the most widespread rain. It's not anything that I don't think will ruin your day, but it's definitely going to make things wet. Maybe you're heading down to East Lansing for Michigan State football. Obviously, we have our Friday Night Lights games here on Saturday, so definitely not the greatest weather. It's not the worst. So it could be snow. It could be like last weekend at this time where you started to get the signals that we're going to get some snow. Not so much for this weekend. Definitely going to be warm enough. And then by Sunday, I think most of that moves out. Not going to count out some lake effect into the early hours of the day Sunday. That could also fall as snow. The earlier in the day we are Sunday, obviously a little bit cooler, that will end up giving us some, I think, lake effect flurries as you're waking up Sunday morning. So don't be surprised if you see that in areas like Gladwin, Standish, Holton Lake. Those will be a few areas. You may get a few flakes of snow, and then I think areas like Huron County could also see a few flakes if we can just get the right wind set up. But it should be pretty light. Most models have continued to really back off on that precipitation chance lasting into our Sunday. But I don't see any questions in our chat. We are going to end our stream for today on our 7-day forecast, where we're holding on to 50s for Friday into Saturday. We're back to the 40s on Sunday with just that lake effect flurry possible. And then as we get into Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday of the new work week, well, we're holding on to more mid to lower 40s. But looks like we're going to end up staying dry next week. That system, that light chance that we had for Tuesday, we've now pushed that away. Looks like it may end up just not panning out as much. And then again, just having some drier days, at least to start next week. We'll see how things develop as we get closer. But I want to thank everyone for joining me here today. As always, you can head over to our Facebook and YouTube channels at WNEM TV5 News. There, we have more updates of your weather. You can catch all of our content. You can also head over to our website at WNEM.com. There you can get more of your local news, sports, and weather. And just thank you for everyone for joining me here today. Hopefully you have a wonderful rest of your Thursday, wonderful Friday, and avoid the rain as we head into the weekend.
Thank you for joining us. Today's stream has been brought to you by Lockhart Roofing.